I'll keep Discord up. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Let me get my stream counter out of here. Who all is out there? Feel free to say hi. Got the Steam page up for the game. I'm so excited to have finally gotten that approved through Steam. I was actually getting really worried that with all of the baked-in review periods and that I actually wouldn't get the page up in time for this 6-week thing. They say yeah, there's a whole bunch of delays. Like they say you have to have paid the $100 fee like 30 days before you release, and then when you send the page for approval, you need to say like, well, that's going to take 2 or 3 business days to do, and then you have to send the build for approval, and that's going to take like 3 to 5 business days to approve. But then you can't release unless it's been 2 weeks since the page went live, and all of these things designed to stress me out, to stress out someone who's trying to get something done super fast. But yeah, the page is live. I'm excited about that. I threw together a trailer on Thursday night. No, not Thursday night. Tuesday night, the other T day of the week. It's only a minute long. While we're kind of waiting for people to show up, let's try and watch it together. Hopefully the audio will come through. Let me know out there if the audio is too loud or too quiet, but let's give this a try. Oop. Oh, okay. Start it over now that I've made it full screen. Come on. What's going on here? Play. All right. Let's refresh the page. I don't know why it broke when I tried to make it full screen.
Oh man! Yeah, your game sucks. The worst game ever made. Justin, you want to see the worst game ever made? It's right here on my screen.
Oh crap.
Okay, if I have the spray and I'm clicking it right on your face, you should be dead.
Well, yeah, that's like the theory with like the hero, and heroes don't die.
Come on, you suck.
Yeah, Elliot says the trailer is awesome.
No.
Of course, he's in the trailer, so he's a little biased.
You and the Elliot. Whoa.
Oh man, really?
Spread. Must get spread.
Oh,
Oh, he
God.
won! I just didn't fire quick
Alright, that
enough.
means we're done. That means we're done.
Oh, come on. Let's do one more. One more.
That's the part that you're putting on yourself, right? Always winning.
Let's do one more, man.
Yeah, so given the super short time frame for this project, I gave myself a day to make the trailer. I know it could be made way better, and if I had time to gather some new footage. This footage that I keep using for this game is from a play session back in 2019, I think in October. And it's the only footage I've got. I'm hoping before release that I can get some good 4-player playtesting sessions and get some new footage to make a new trailer. But it's like, I only have 6 weeks to do this, so I'm just going to take what I've got, throw it together, and yeah, make something. Soundtrack music in the game. Yeah, I still have to find music. I was thinking about trying to get music between the last stream and this stream, but I ended up just being so busy with Steam stuff. Yeah, actually, like real quick, I made a list of like things that have happened since the last stream before we get into coding again. Not too much development has happened because it's been kind of the week of Steam, but the Steam page is live. I got some review from Steam back about the build this morning. Actually, I woke up and they sent me the review, and it was rejected. there's a couple of minor things that are going to be really easy to fix, but the person who was reviewing it couldn't actually get multiplayer to work, which is like the worst possible thing to fail. And of course, we know because we've been playtesting it that it works. So I'm worried that well, my theory is that the person who's testing it is on like a network that doesn't work really good for direct WebRTC connections, and so between the build that I sent for review and now, one of the other things I did was I set up a turn server, which should help fix that situation. And I'm hoping that will be, that if I were to just submit another build with only that change, that it would then work for the reviewer. But just in case, my plan is to try and add some logging so that the next time the Steam reviewers try it, then it will help. Then I'll be able to see what was going on. Hi, Yannick. How's it going? Elliot is most excited for modding. I'm most excited for modding too. I think it would be so cool if I could set it up so that other folks could make maps and crazy power-ups and just add some zany stuff to it. Kind of my goal is for this next week to try and just get all of the like must-finish things in so that the game could kind of be released whenever. And once that's done, I'll feel less nervous about wasting time so that we won't be able to release it by the deadline by April 20th. And then we can look at things like adding modding support. That would be so cool. Anyway, other things that happened this week. My fish game tutorial, unrelated to Retro Tank Party, but this fish game tutorial that I've been working on for the last couple of months, actually, which is another game built with Godot and Nakama, was released. And I, as soon as it came out, finally, I had to drop what I was doing and go make a video about it because I just really wanted to promote that. So that took up some time. The biggest bit of development that I did this week, though, was actually last night. I stayed up until the wee hours of the night implementing Steam login so that you don't have to create an account if you're using the Steam version. You'll just automatically get an account created and linked with your Steam. Hi, Bast Hernandez. How's it going? And yeah, actually, I could show that to you guys. It's not something that you can try yet. I still have to fix up the build so that it does the Steam build as well. I'm going to work on that over this weekend. But yeah, this I think is the not Steam version. So when you go into the not Steam version, ooh, it's not going to even show you because I'm already logged in. It's got my credentials saved. Let me just quick delete my credentials. Local share, Godot. All right, so let's start this up again. So in the non-Steam version, you get a login tab and a create account tab, and it's basically just like email and password, generic login. And when you do the Steam version, I'm actually gonna have to open up a different version of the editor here, one with the Steam module compiled into Godot. Start this guy up. Ooh, Steam's not running. I can't validate me because Steam is not running. So let's start Steam really quick. Of course, if you were really launching this game from Steam, Steam, of course, would be running. Steam is opening up in my other screen here. Well, you don't need to see my Steam. That's fine. So all right, Steam is opened up in my other screen. We go in here, and it just logged me straight in via Steam. That's not interesting. Okay, so to show you the interesting part, I actually have to go on my local Nakama server, which, what is that, 7351, I think? Yeah. So this is the administrative console for Nakama, which I do not even have exposed on my production one, but is very useful for development. You can see my user here has a Steam account linked. So if I unlink my Steam account, so I have to hit update. I'll try it. Okay, update. And then I do this again. This will be the experience that first-time Steam users will get when they come to the app. They'll get logging in via Steam, then they'll be hit with this no user account found page. where if they just want to create an account based on their Steam user, they just put in whatever username they want and say create account. This should fail. Yep, because that username is already taken. I already am DSnowpeck on my own little local server here. And if you're someone who has already been playing the itch version of the game or the web version or whatever, and already have an account, you can go over to login and then put in your stuff here. What did I do? Oh, I typed in my live password, not my testing password. Yeah, and then if we go back to users, you can see that I'm now again linked via Steam, and if I were to come back and log in again, it would just, it should at least just take me straight in. Yep. So should be a pretty good experience for Steam users when the Steam version is live. And yeah, that was a lot of fun figuring out last night. I had to work out some stuff with the Godot Steam module, and there's some interesting things with Nakama too. Like, so Nakama has a Steam login, but I have to pass it this token that I get from the Steam API, and nothing nowhere told me what format that token should be in, because it's like a binary token. It's like 234 bytes of binary data. I'm like, all right, so now how do I pass that to Nakama? Like, should I base64 encode it? Should I just make it into a string and JSON encode it with all the like \x's in it or whatever? And I had to dig through the Nakama code and like the Steam docs, and it turns out you have to encode it as hex, which is no big deal, but just no one, it's hard to find, you know, no one's telling me that. Anyway. So Elliot's asking, so if Steam isn't running, do you think you could provide credentials and have those sent through to Steam without that weird error? I mean, so when this is actually like a live Steam game and you've downloaded it through Steam, you should be launching it from Steam. So that error just shouldn't happen because you'll be in Steam hitting play Retro Tank Party. And then if you don't do that, well, you got to go start Steam. And maybe I can make the message more friendly because the message is mine. Where do I do that? I do that in this auto load game state. So here's where the Steam is initialized. We do this thing where we say restart app if necessary, which appears to not work at all under Linux. I haven't tested this under Windows yet, which I got to do. But theoretically, this API call should like quit the app, call to Steam and say, Steam, hey, start my app. But it doesn't seem to work for me. And then we do the real initialization when we can. And oh, I guess that isn't my message. I guess I am passing exactly the message that Steam is giving back, this init status. Anyway, I don't think that's something to really worry about because Steam users should be launching it from Steam in any case. So yeah, I'm planning to do like an article or a video tutorial or something about that at some point, about doing the Steam login with a Godot app and a Nakama backend because of all the different little pieces that were necessary to figure out. I think that could be interesting and helpful. And the next step to do before I can actually get this out to you folks to try is I want to get GitLab CI automatically doing the Steam builds and pushing those to Steam. And then, of course, Steam has to approve my build before I can start giving people Steam keys. But the plan is ultimately that anyone who wants to help playtest, I'll give a Steam key, and then you just subscribe to the beta branch of the app, and you'll be able to get all of the changes as soon as I commit them to either I'll have it either be on the develop branch or maybe a special Steam branch, but I'll have it set up so that I can just hack away, commit to a branch, it'll deploy to everyone, and then we can jump in and play. So yeah, I think that's everything that's been going on. Elliot and I have been doing daily playtesting on the Discord. If you're interested, I'm in the wrong OBS frame here. There we go. If you're interested in helping to playtest, you can join the Discord. The link is down at the bottom of the frame, snowpeckgames.com/discord. Anyone who comes and helps playtest, when I have the Steam keys, I'll give you one, just for helping out. And this other link that is down on the bar, that's the link to the web version of the game, so that if we hack on something today on stream and I commit it, and you want to go try and playtest right here live on stream, that would be the link that you would go to. Anyway, so what are we going to do today for stream? What I had in mind was starting to work on adding different match modes, because I think that's the most important feature to getting this to be a full sellable game, is having the ability to change some of the settings of the match, have some different modes, have the ability to change the maps and all that. And then the rest of the stuff is really just like polish or bug fixing or little corner things, right? So this one big feature, we got to start on it. We still have 5 weeks, so let's get started on it now. And the way that I was thinking about having that work, I've been taking some notes, but I haven't actually started working on it myself. Let me get out of the Steam version of the editor so I can get the normal Godot editor going. Oh, hey, we were going to playtest at the beginning. That's like a thing we do. Let me get up the game. I'm going to go to bit.ly RTP devel. Yeah, before we start programming, let's play a little bit. Gotta play before we do work here. I'll make a match ID and drop it in the chat. So all right, I just dropped the match ID in the chat. I'll put it in Discord too if anyone's hanging out there. Ooh, there's a question over in Discord. David is asking, Steam provides the tools you're using freely? Sort of. So to get the Steam SDK, you actually have to sign their NDA, and I think you're only allowed to distribute it with your game, like not separately. But there is a person who made a Godot module for Steam, which basically just adds Godot bindings to this SDK from Steam to do all of the low-level stuff. Anyway, if you want to playtest with me on stream real quick, you can go to that bit.ly link and use this match ID that I put in chat. I can't go back to it now because I've already gone through the menu, but when the title screen comes up, you go to Battle and then Join Match, and you paste in the match ID there. Elliot's here. Thanks so much for joining, Elliot. We'll wait another minute or two to see if anyone else jumps in, and then get started playing things as they are. But yeah, so to talk a little bit about how I want to change things for the match configuration, I'm thinking you'll still come through this part of the process where everyone gets connected and then everyone says they're ready. I think I'm going to add like a little symbol, like maybe a crown or something, I don't know, over to the person who is the host, because it's not always immediately obvious. In matchmaking, the host is just randomly chosen. When you're doing a private match, it's the person who created the match is chosen as the host. And then once everyone says they're ready, rather than just starting the game, we'll go to another screen where the host gets to configure the settings for the match. And I'd like for the people who are not the host to like see the changes that the host is doing as they're doing them. It would be even better to have like a voting kind of thing going on, but I don't really want to implement that, at least not at first. I just want to get it into the game so that it's a feature there for people to play rather than being the perfect feature. Existing is better than being perfect. So yeah, that's what we'll work on once we get going. Looks like nobody else wants to join us. All right, well, if anyone changes their mind and wants to jump in, just ping in the chat. We can always quit and get started again. Let's do a little quick tank battle here. Ooh, Tanks-a-Lot. Sir Tanks-a-Lot has joined. Yeah, whenever you guys are ready, let's hit ready. Well, I guess I don't know if anyone else is going to join, but I don't want to spend too much time sitting here doing nothing, so whenever you guys are ready, just hit ready. All right, and for Sir Tanks-a-Lot, the controls are WASD to drive your tank and mouse to aim and shoot. Where is Sir Tanks-a-Lot? He's mysterious. There he is, in red. I'm going for a power-up here. Get this health before anyone else can. Health, come on, I want an interesting power-up. Ooh, here we go. Some more power-ups populating. Oh, all health. Ooh, here we go. Tracer bullets. These are ones that curve to follow your opponent, but you can sort of see when I'm shooting Sir Tanks a lot up here. Ah, one down, one to go. I'll take this health so Elliot doesn't get it. It's all mine. Ooh, he's got the spread. Jeez. Ah, Elliot took it away with the spread. Here, let's do one more round and then we can get serious. Or perhaps Sir Tanks-a-Lot has dropped. If you dropped because there was a bug, definitely let me know in the chat. There was an issue we were seeing previously with the web version only on Elliot's computer, it seemed, where at the end of a round it would boot him out. I have never seen that personally, and we've never seen it with the desktop builds. Oh, here we go. We're in. Where are you guys at? Oh, there's Elliot. Oh, I want that. Oh, I don't know what it is, though. Oh, we all have spread. Total destruction. Now I need some health. Eee. Oh, that screen shake when you're getting hit with the spread. Aha! I'm victorious. Elliot's ready to go again. Elliot wants to get back in there. No, I I think we should start hacking a little bit. This is supposed to be a game dev stream, and we have not game dev'd yet. But yeah, we'll play some more. I'm sorry, I'm in control of the code over here. No, I don't have any cheats. I wish I had cheats. I'm probably going to add some cheats, to be honest, to help with testing at some point, but probably something we can flag and turn off when we do the production build of the game. So, all right, to get started with this, I think we have to start with the UI. Unfortunately, not the most exciting thing, but we need some place to configure these settings. So, let's go look at these screens. Not the match screen. That's the one where we pick what we're doing. The ready screen. And so we want to mark who the host is. I guess we need to do that in this peer status scene, which looks like a HBox of some different labels. I guess we would put, what is the control version of a sprite? Is that a texture rect? Texture rect. We would throw a texture rect in here, which we would contain our host sprite. I did not pre-plan for this. I should have, of what the sprite should be. Let's see what we have in our asset pack. Using this Kenny top-down tanks redo asset pack, which is awesome. I love Kenny and L's assets. So do I have the whole asset pack in here, or did I just copy in the things that I needed? I think I might have just copied in the things that I needed. Let's take a peek, though. I might have to re-download the asset pack. Okay, now here's some stuff. Anything seem particularly regal that we could attach to the user? I don't think so. There's nothing that jumps out at me. Yeah. We might just scribble something out in a paint program or something. I'm gonna quick check though. Kenny has some UI packs, and I do want to like redo the UI. It's using the default redo the look of the UI, not the functionality. That'd be too much time. But it's using the default like Godot theme for all of the UI components now, which is fine, but I don't think fits this game. This should be more retro, more quirky and tanky. So to do that, I will need to grab some assets to build the UI, and perhaps I will be grabbing those from Kenny. So let's see where his UI assets are. Does he have a search bar? Yes, he does. UI? No, that wasn't specific enough. Oh, here we go. UI pack. That's one. Actually, let me open up a bunch of these. I'll open up in tabs. UI pack space expansion. Pixel UI pack. That might be the one. Yeah, I guess this roguelike pack, which is amazing. There's like everything in that pack. I use it for loads of prototypes. It has a bunch of UI stuff, but it's too tiny, I think. That's all like 16 by 16. Or no, I'm thinking of the 1-bit pack. Yeah, the roguelike one is good too, but I'm thinking of the 1-bit pack is the one that I use for all my prototypes. Game icons could be. On-screen controls, that's probably useful for something later. Rolling ball. For the soccer match mode, I do kind of want to do a soccer match mode. We could throw one of these balls in there as the soccer ball. So this doesn't look like what we want. Something here maybe. There's a little trophy. Little ribbon. Ribbons may be better than a trophy. Both of them kind of imply winner, but ribbon less so than a trophy. Ribbon could be maybe more like a badge, like I'm an official of this game, so I'm the host. Or maybe the little configuration wheel because they're the one configuring. Let's see what else we got. Oh, those are tiny. Yeah, this isn't exactly... Well, maybe this pointing arrow, this little finger arrow there, if you guys can even see that, it's super tiny, but it's like a pointing to the side arrow. Or one of these other arrow things. Yeah, this is... Oh, I should take the aim reticle from here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to put these in my notes. Improved UI theme. I'll throw some of these links in my Trello card here. Grab all these so I don't have to refine them later. And this one has the aiming reticle. The aiming reticle that we have in the game right now, I just made. I just like drew in a sprite or something. It's not good. Yeah, I might just grab that gold arrow, Elliot. I just got to grab something and get going here. Don't want to spend too much time on it. Oh yeah, giving the aiming thing by the person who's the host, especially because you want to go kill the host for making bad choices. Yeah, I don't know. I might just grab... What is my split-second gut choice here? The finger... Oh, that seems like you're choosing something, and I don't want to choose something. Maybe I'll just grab this first one I was looking at. This little, like, ribbon thing there. Let's download this one. We will save this file into downloads. What is it called? GameIcons.zip. Let's grab that. I don't really want to open it in this folder because then Godot will import it right away. Let me just make a temporary directory and we will unzip that. All right, what do we got? Yeah, we just want the individual. Elliot says, I'm taking time away from modding. Yes, I am. I am taking time away from modding. Sorry. Let's do white because we got kind of a dark background. 1x, 2x. I'm not sure what those dimensions are, so we'll have to get in there and see. Okay. Ooh, little hamburger icons. Eat. Got an X, got a check mark, got an exclamation point. Here we go. Here's this ribbon. Kind of like the double ribbon aesthetically. So what is the name of this one? Does it say at the top? It should say at the top. Why isn't it saying at the top? Oh, probably because I'm doing stuff in full screen. Let's get ribbon. Metal2.png. Let's grab that file. Assets. Oh, I was thinking this was the game data. That's the save data folder. All right, here's the game data, assets. And let's copy this file over. Oh, I didn't look at the dimensions. I actually don't know if this is the right size. We'll find out in a second. And we'll go back to Godot, so it will import that. And we're doing it in pure status. Metal 2. And we're going to throw that in the texture property. Hey, there we go. And if I hide this, does the space go away? It does. We probably don't want that to happen. We probably want the space to be taken up even if it's not visible. So how are we going to do that? If we give it a fixed rect size, it already has a fixed rect size. So one option is replacing, is just, okay, so if I take this texture away, but keep the fixed rect size, it shrinks. Why does it shrink? Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to set the min size. Okay, so that makes it take up the amount of space even without a texture being in there. But if I hide it, does it still go away? It still goes away. So what I think we need to do is add and show the texture, like add this texture resource to this texture rect in a script rather than doing it in the editor. It'd be kind of nice if I could just do this with the editor, but I think that's because we're using this HBox, which is for this kind of like responsive layout type thing. So we will preload this metal texture, is preload, and we'll drag that guy up in here. And we will want to have a property here, which will be like host, true or false. I'm not sure we really want to do that as a, or no, it's not an exported property. That's just a normal property. And what are you complaining at me? Setter function isn't defined. Of course not. We haven't defined it yet. Okay, func set host. And we want to say, well, first let's store it. Store host equals host. And I'll say if host. We need to grab this texture rect, rename it something easy to remember, like host icon. That sounds good. Naming things, one of the hard programming problems. All right. So we will do what I was just doing over here. Host icon. We'll set it to this, so we have it stashed in a variable for ourselves. We don't have to query it from the scene tree whenever we need it. Say host icon, and then what is that? Texture. Texture equals metal texture. Else host icon texture equals null. That looks good. That seems right, right? Guys, check my code real quick. So how will we know who the host is so that we can turn that on and off? Probably in the main script. This game has way too many things happening in the main script. If you want to learn what not to do in a game is pack your main script with so many things. But even though I would love to refactor this even more, I'm not gonna. We have a short period of time to get this game out. So let's see. So at what point do we know who the host is? So it'd probably be in one of the callbacks from online match. Oh, you know what? It isn't the main script that needs to know, it's the ready screen that needs to know. So ready screen, when the screen is shown at this point, we are adding all of the players. Do we know all the players right away? Or do we find them out later? Okay, let's go look at online match. Online match is this singleton, which is from my Godot Nakama WebRTC asset, which you can find in the Godot asset store. That is for negotiating the WebRTC connections over Nakama as the signaling server. And it does all of the low-level dirty work and then just tells us who's there. And I need to see how we can find out from it who the host is. So it has a list of players somewhere. It has a dictionary of players. What is the key of this dictionary? That is what I want to know. Players. Let's see if we can find where we're assigning to players, because that'll tell us what the key of it is. I'm kind of hoping that it's the peer ID, because the peer ID of 1 is always the host. Players session ID. It is keyed by session ID. That's the Nakama session ID, which is unique for a particular login to the server backend. Can we look up a player by the peer ID? I think we can. Just gotta find where that's at. Or maybe we can't. Maybe we need to add a new method. Otherwise, it's just a loop. We can just loop over. Figure out which player has peer ID 1. Or actually, okay, so at some point the ready screen is adding the players from these player objects to the UI, and at that point it could look at the player object that it's given and see what the peer ID is. So let's do that. Ready screen. We're saying add player. We're adding the session ID, the username, and then let's add one more argument to this method, which is just going to be whether it's the host or not. We'll say is host bool equals false to give it a default value there. And we'll be able to say players session ID, session ID peer ID equals 1. So if the player's peer ID is 1, we know that that is the host. So then this is host will be passed here. And then on this peer status scene, that's what we were working in before. That's where we added the icon. That was this peer status scene over here. We added the icon. We are now looking at where the ready screen is adding the scene to itself to add, one instance for each of the players. And so it should just be a matter of doing status host equals is host. All right. Let's try it. Battle. We'll create a private match, which should have already made me be the host. What happened there? Oh, there's more than one place where it calls add player. That's what happened there. Okay. Back to the drawing board. Ready screen. We're going to look for everywhere that add player is called. So we did this one. And here we go. Player joined. Wait, why is this using properties and the other one's using array keys? Okay. I wonder if I can, if this is an object, I should be able to use either array keys or properties. If I can, I'm just going to switch all those to properties because they look better. They're easier to read. So player peer ID equals 1, the same check we did before. And okay. So I think the difference is here, this is the one that gets called during matchmaking because you know all the players at once. And this other one is when online match is telling us as each player joins. And the difference is that Nakama, when you do matchmaking, will give you all the players at once. And when you don't, it'll send like individual status events telling you when each player has joined. So let's try that. Hey, DSnowpick is the host. Now we need to make sure that anyone else who joins is not the host. Oh, I could have just done that here. Well, no. I'll make another window for testing. I'll keep that window for when I'm messing around with Git and stuff. Yep. Oh, okay. Doesn't matter that I accidentally put an equal sign at the end of that. And here we go. Copy, paste, join. There we go. 2D Snowpecs. One of them is the host and one isn't. All right. Let's just make sure that this still works with matchmaking. So we'll exit out of here. Join. Oh, yeah. Start matchmaking. Haha. Okay. So hopefully that one is actually the host. How can I test that? So the blue tank is always the host. But was this one the blue tank? Okay, I might need to do 2 separate accounts here just to verify that I'm not going crazy. So to do that, I'm going to need to delete my credentials again. Local share Godot. What is the next folder? App user data. So this is where Godot saves all of the save games on a Linux machine. There's an equivalent spot on the other operating systems. So I'll delete this credentials. And now I go in here. I will log in, but I will not save my email and password. And for the other one, I will log in as one of my test users, which I believe I named test user 1. We'll try that. I might just have the password wrong. Hang on. Try all of my usual test user passwords here. That's a long one. No. All right, we'll make a new account. It's time for test user 3 to come into the world. Disable this. A short one. The one I tried first before. What? Password must be longer. Okay. Invalid username. What? I've named things with spaces before. Is this a new thing in Nakama? All right. Or at least I thought I had. Maybe I'm imagining that. Okay. So we will matchmake. And DSnowPec was selected as the host, which should mean that he's the blue tank. There we go. All right. One thing down. Let's commit that to Git. I'm going to quick look at the diff, the Git diff, just to make sure I'm not committing anything I don't want to. For anyone who's interested in using Git with Godot projects, I have a video course on YouTube. It's like 8 parts about using Git with Godot projects. I invite you to check it out if that is something you're interested in doing. Yeah, this all seems fine. There are a couple of new things we need to add. That asset. Here, I'll just add everything. That looks good. Git commit. Mark the host when in the ready screen. And we'll push that up. So that will actually be automatically built by GitLab CI. And so in a couple of minutes, we would be able to go visit the bit.ly/ the link that's down there for the web version of the game, and be able to play the code that I just wrote after it's finished being built and pushed. But we're not going to do that because that's such a boring change to play test. Okay, so we are able to mark the host. Now we need to give the host special powers. And that means we're going to need a new UI screen that we go to after the ready screen. So let's start building that. Let's see if we can duplicate one of these other scenes to give us kind of a quick start here. What are all the screens we've got? Yeah. I might start with maybe the match screen. I don't know, just to get that panel. I'll delete most of the things on it. We will wait. No, this is just duplicating the instance. I want to duplicate the whole scene. So that means I have to find the scene file. Match screen. Let's duplicate. This is going to be, wow, naming is hard. Because like I would call this like a match setup screen, but that's going to be confusing with the match screen. So maybe this would be like mode screen? Match mode. I don't want to call it configuration because we are going to at some point have like a settings screen. Mode screen. I'm going to go with mode screen for now. If anyone has any good ideas, certainly feel free to share in the chat. I am horrible at naming things. So, okay, we have a new mode screen, which so far looks exactly like the match screen. I'm going to delete everything under this VBox container. And so you just have a nice empty panel. I'll detach this script, rename the top level node, mode screen, and we'll add a new script, which that's the right spot, calling it mode screen. Okay. So what do we want to have on this mode screen? So at some point, I want to have like an object that controls like the rules of the match, so that we can easily create new match modes. We can have the death match mode, which we're basically playing right now, the capture the flag match mode, the soccer match mode. But right now, we're not going to build all that infrastructure. I just kind of want to have the UI in place to tweak these match settings. And the settings that we have right now are basically the number of rounds. Like that's the only thing configurable in the current match mode. Like I want to be able to set, the number of rounds, a time limit, if there's going to be a time limit. If there's teams, we can set it up so that, there could be 2 teams and you could split up the players any way you want among those 2 teams. But for now, the only thing that we got is number of rounds. So I guess that's what we're going to do. So we'll need to put a label at the top. We'll tell people what we are doing here. So this is like, match configuration? Match. Okay, so you're ready? All right. Configuring match. Setting up match. Configuring rules. Match type. I don't know. Configuring match rules. Match rules. Throw that at the top. And we will want to have some labels and things to fill in, which I usually do with a grid container, which is a special node that just lays out everything you put, not under the label, under the VBox. Lays out everything you put in a grid that you define. We're going to say we have 2 columns. So that means each item will be placed sequentially in those two columns. Add a label. I'm going to say this is number of rounds. And then we will add a line edit. I think, what is the number specific control called? I'm using it on this one. What is this? Spin box? Do we want a spin box? What does a spin box get us? Let's go look in the docs here. Spinbox is a numerical input text field. It allows entering integers and floats. If it gives us like controller support for editing the number, like that would be ideal, and I would choose this immediately if it does. It doesn't tell us if it does though. Yeah, how does the up-down texture work? It's only one texture. I wonder if it just says the top half is the up arrow and the bottom half is the down arrow. I'm going to need to replace that at some point. The match screen that has the existing spin box looks horrible, right? Like it's got this big old box and little tiny arrows over there. So we gotta redo this UI theme at some point before release. But yeah, let's use a spin box. Let's use a spin box. We can test the controller thing. Well, let's test the controller thing now. That's easy to test. Except I'm not logged in. Yep. And yeah, where's my controller? It does not give us that. Wow, that's so disappointing. So I can move around to choose what I'm selecting. And I know I can hit these buttons, yeah. But I cannot adjust the number of players. That's a shame. So you have to click. Well, I guess that's a thing we'll have to add when I'm going back through and filling in the holes in the controller support. I'm still feeling a spin box, though. I think if we use a spin box here, we should use a spin box again for consistency. So let's go to our mode screen, which maybe I should start calling rules screen if we're going to say rules up here. I actually like the sound of that so much better. Rules screen. Rules screen. That means we'll have to rename like everything. So mode screen, rule screen, mode screen.gd. Rules screen. Oh, the two S's there is a little weird though. Lowercase, uppercase. Anyway, so number of rounds. Then we'll throw a spin box here, which I like having these right aligned, I think. But now we can't see it. Why can't we see it? What? Huh? We can't set the value either? Like, where's the... Okay, hang on. It's got a 0 in it. Page value. Here's the value. Okay, so I just want to see where this value is going when I right align it. Huh. But 0, like, disappears? Oh, now it's there. Maybe center. Center. So this grid container goes the whole width. We want to make these things expand so they take up the whole box. That is not grow direction. That is size flags. So expand. That actually looks kind of nice. I mean, we could have them both expand, but that seems stupid because that doesn't need to be that big. Yeah, that seems good. So number of rounds. Let's name these something sensible. We'll say like rounds, label, rounds. And we need, of course, a button to start this thing off. And that we do not want to be the full width, do we? So this will be like start match. We want it to not fill. And how do we move it to the center? There we go. Okay, that looks good. I think we want the grid container to expand downward to push this start match to the bottom, which is another size flag. That would be vertical expand. There we go. So the margins could probably be tweaked, but this is good for now. Tweaking margins is more of a problem to come up when we're theming, because like everything will change. If I change the UI theme, then any margins I pick now will be invalidated. So we'll say this is start match button, and let's use its pressed signal. Delete all this stuff. Okay, so we need to assign some of the nodes in the tree to variables on ready var. We want rounds. Should I call it rounds field? What did I do on the other screens? Just want to be consistent. Where's my connection screen? Yeah, field. I called them field, so we'll call them field again. Rule screen. So rounds field, and we'll navigate our way to that. Panel container, VBox. Here we go, that one. So we can grab the number of rounds. And now we gotta do something with that. Yeah, there's a bunch of things we gotta do. We gotta wire this screen into the system. So we have this is the main scene, and we have all the screens stashed under this screens node here. So let's grab our rules screen. And it comes after the ready screen, so I think this is a good spot for it, logically. And at some point, it's going to have to tell main how many rounds. So main's the thing that decides how many rounds. It does this is match check here. So where does it decide? It's just hard-coded. It's just hard-coded right in there. All right, so eventually, like I said, we should have a object whose job it is to decide how the match works. And the main script should just delegate to that object, but we don't now. We're just going to set a variable. We're going to say rounds per match. We're going to start it out as 5. And, or do we want to do that here, or should I put that on game state? It feels very game statey. Probably all this stuff goes on game state, but I don't know. It's here right now. We'll keep it here right now. So then, since this knows what the variables are, it's going to have to grab it from that other screen, I think. How are we doing this for the other things, like match screen? So when we click these buttons, it calls to online match, and then we hear back here, and then it just shows a screen. It would be kind of nice if we were just like returning this match object I keep talking about. But how do we return it? Okay, so we're grabbing the value here. Let's say we make a dictionary to be like a temporary stand-in for the object. Something like that. So we would say like var rules configuration, which will be an empty dictionary, and we will configure it when this button is pressed. I was kind of hoping that would stay over here. This would be like rounds per match. That's some code. And then we would probably want to emit a signal telling main that it's time to grab the configuration. So we need to define a signal here. Signal, what would we call that? Like match or rules configured? Rules configured. And actually, maybe we pass the dictionary. And then we'll say rules. Yeah, that's even better than it grabbing it. We'll pass it back with the signal. So okay, we'll say emit signal rules configured, and we will pass the rules configuration. Perfect. So in a future universe, I'll even leave a note for myself. This will be to do construct match object defining rules. So in the future, this will construct like some sort of match object that defines the rules with the thinking, and this is for you, Elliot, for modding, that someone could make a mod that defines a new type of match object for a new type of rules. So we'll then pass that back to the rules configured signal. Let's go over to main, where we will want to connect to that signal. And let's move this to somewhere that it makes sense in the logical flow. I like to have like the order of the source code kind of match the order that things happen logically, just to make it easier to find where I need to look next, kind of thing. If I need to look for something further in the process, I read down. I need to look for something earlier in the process, I read up. So we're talking about ready screen here. UI callbacks. Okay, I have these grouped by UI callbacks. This comes after the ready screen, so we will put it there. rule scheme, rules configured. And yeah, actually, because we are keeping this in a dictionary, we'll just make this be a dictionary tool. Rules configured is dictionary. And where did I just leave that method? Here it is. So rules configured equals rules. All right, so now we need to, well, actually, before I forget to do it, I'm going to have this actually use the rules configured rounds per match. And we should do some validation on that. Okay, hold your horses here, David. We got other things to do before we can start hooking this in. Yeah, okay, so we have to say if rounds field value, oh, can we do some of this validation right on the control? Let's see if we can. Rule screen. What can we get with the spin box? Yes, we can. Min value of 0, perfect. We don't want a negative number of matches. Say a maximum of 5. Well, I don't know, maybe if you want to do more. We'll say maximum of 10. Step is 1. Can people put floating point values in there? Let me try. Oh, cool. It rounds it. Beautiful. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so we can't put floating point values, so we don't need to validate that it's an integer. So we're good. We're good. Wait, what is rounded is off, but it still sets it? If true, value will always be rounded to the nearest integer. Okay, we want that, but it seems to be doing that already. What are these ones? Allow greater. If true, the value may be greater than max value. Then why have a max value? Oh, maybe the idea is that the max value just controls the spinner? I kind of want to see what that does, guys. I'm taking this opportunity to learn a little bit about the Godot engine. So I have it allow greater. So no, it just lets me keep going. What the heck? Why even have a max value if you can? Okay, so I don't allow max value. I can't go above it, but like, what's the point of? I guess maybe because if you didn't want to set the max value to like 4 million and allow any value, exp edit. If true, the min value and the min value is greater than 0, value will be represented exponentially rather than linearly. Interesting. For big numbers. Okay, so we have a control that gets a number of rounds. It should be valid data. It passes it back through this signal to main. Main stashes it on that dictionary and uses it to get the number of rounds. Oh, one more thing we need to do. We need a default value here. Rule screen. Or actually, yeah, min value can't be 0. There has to be at least 1 round. 1. 1 is the minimum. And we need to set the default value to 5. So we can stick with what we started with. All right. Let's jump over to the main scene and we'll wire the screen in. We'll wire it in. Where's the main scene? I guess it's up here. Okay. So rule screen is in here. Ready screen needs to act a little bit differently. Or no, ready screen doesn't need to act differently because I remember I was in here, I saw on ready screen pressed. Okay, so this, oh, okay, no, ready pressed. So this is just tallying up who's ready. And then somewhere else, we're actually kicking off the match. We're calling start game. So rather than calling start game here, we need to move this. So we need to do show screen rules screen. And we need to move start game. Why? Oh, I need to do UI layer. UI layer, show screen. And we need to move starting the screen after we get the rules back. Wow. Am I totally boring you guys? Like, UI stuff is not the most interesting code to watch. I kind of wish I would have done the UI part of this in advance and then, you know, did the interesting, actually defining new gameplay stuff on stream. Let me see. Is that enough? Are we ready? So I'll be the host over here. And oh, here's the one I have for testing. Join. Connected. We'll all say we're ready. And okay. Well, this guy got the rules. This is the host. The host got to see the rules screen. What is Elliot saying? Someone needs to make a Milwaukee mod where the tanks are sausages, like at Miller Park. I think because it's giving me mod ideas. Yeah, that would be cool. We could have all sorts of like alternate silly things to be the tanks. I'd be down. Okay, so the host is being shown the match rule screen, which is fine. That so far is good, but these people are stuck here. At the very least, they should be shown a message that says the host is configuring the rules, but ideally, they would see what those rules are. The easiest thing to do here, though, is to just show them a message. So let's start with that. We'll have this screen switch to a message that says the host is configuring the rules, and then once the host hits start, which actually should work, let's try it, then the match starts. Okay. Sweet. Part of the way there already. Throat's getting dry. Let me drink some water real quick. How are we doing on time, guys? I guess we've been going for a little over an hour. Yeah, let me see if I can get this to something that's vaguely playable in that time. I'd really like to get adding at least one new gameplay aspect, which would be a time limit. So we could have a number of rounds or a time limit, or I guess no number of rounds. We would just tally wins, which could be cool. Yeah. So let's see if we can get to a point where this number of rounds thing is actually working and playable. And then as a sprint to the end, because I'm only going to go to 12. I'm sorry, I can't stream terribly long. I have to go to a doctor's appointment. But then we'll race to noon to get some actual gameplay changes, a time limit. All right, so what do I got to do here? We're in main. So the reason that only the host gets to hear is because player ready is only running this block of code on the host. That's what the get tree is network server is checking, are we the host? So what we need to do is tell everybody else to switch to a different kind of mode here. And how will we do that? We'll send a message to the other host. First, let's make a quick method here. We'll say func wait for host rules. Great rounds picker and time limit. Stuff to playtest. Yeah, hopefully it'll be some stuff to playtest. There's always a risk on stream that I'll hack for a while and get stuck on a dumb problem and not be able to advance, and then nothing good will come out of it. Okay, so show rule screen, and then we need to do RPC, and this should only happen on not the host. So there should be a puppet func. So puppet says we only want to call not the host when we call an RPC here. So RPC wait for host rules. And that'll only be fired once because it's being fired by just the host. And this will do UI layer hide screen and UI layer show message. Waiting for host to configure the rules. That might be too long for the screen, but we'll find out. Okay, let me just verify that this does what I think it does, that now the not host will get shown a nice message. Ready, ready, there we go. Match rules, waiting for host to configure the rules. The message isn't too long. Hit start, we are in. And we should be able to test that this actually works too. Oh, Elliot's asking, why not just else and make a quick screen? Oh, I have no idea what is happening. I'm not sure which part you don't know what's happening, but yeah, I mean, we could have this function, rather than hiding the screen and showing a message, show a screen. And ideally, what I would like to have happen here is show the same screen, but have all the controls be disabled and just allow the other players to see what the host is picking. Because I'm imagining that you're playing this game with your friends on Discord, you know, all voice chatting, so you can yell at the guy who's the host, depending on what he's picking. But that's a stretch goal. That's something we can do once we got we've got the game in a releasable state. All right, so that is good. I want to actually test that the functionality works. I want to try changing the number of rounds to 1 and possibly 2. And if those two options work, then we know that the code is doing what it's supposed to do. And I might even commit then too, because wait, did I just create twice? I did. Okay, so we're going to change the number of rounds down to 1. Start the match. I'll have a blue guy go over here and kill the green guy. Oh yeah, look at that screen shake. That's a wicked good screen shake. Wins the whole match, yay! Okay, cool. Let's try 2, just to make sure that it isn't, you know, just always saying that the match is won. We'll make sure that it's actually targeting a particular number. Bam, 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 bam. Wins this round, beautiful. So, oh, that looks way too close. I gotta move that that host marker over a little bit, I think. But that's not a right now problem. Oh, it takes us back to the match rules. Okay, so this is a bigger change. Maybe we won't get to the time limit thing, Elliot, because we need to change the whole way that matches are working. Because right now, we have it so that every time a round ends, it shows the ready screen again, which I've kind of never liked. Like, every single time you finish a round, all 4 people have to like go with the mouse over and click ready. I feel like it should just wait a number of seconds and start again. So let's do that. Let's configure this to just wait 10 seconds or 5 seconds or something, and then start the next round, because otherwise it's just going to be giving us this nonsensical rule screen between every round here. Okay, so how do we change that? So game over. It's not online, it shows a winner. If this is the host, then we increment the score. How do we get back to the ready screen though? Okay, so we show winner gets fired on all clients because remote sync. Remote means that this is a function that we're allowed to call an RPC on. Sync means that it will happen not just on all the remote clients, but also on ourself. So when this RPC show winner calls, it's being called on all clients, including the host. It shows this. It waits 2 seconds. And then if we are in online play, it stops the game and shows the match screen. Or no. Okay, yeah. So if is match. Match is where we find out that they won the whole match. Okay, ignore that. What we're concerned about is the round, the other branch of this else. So ready screen, hide match ID, reset status, set score. Oh, you know what though? If we don't show the ready screen, we won't know what the score is. We kind of have to show the ready screen. Or we can show it but not have the clicking. That's probably the way to show it but not have the clicking. But we still need to have a different path depending on if we're at the start of a round or not. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to refactoring this into like a more like object-oriented thing where there's like an object that's in charge of what a match is, and we don't have to deal with this gobbledygook spaghetti code that we're battling through right here. Okay. So, player ready. Can we make a decision here to not do the rule screen? Is there some variable that tells us we're in the middle of a match and not at the beginning of a match? There isn't. It's just like taking a different path depending on whether we have a match or not having a match. Or not ending a match. Hey, Ross. Ross says, show it, have the clicking, but auto-progress if more than 10 seconds pass. Yeah, that would be good too. That is a great idea, Ross. Both me and Elliot think so. Yeah, I think I'm just trying to find, for now, like what is the quickest thing I can do to get to the next step. And so I think if I can find a way to do this without removing the clicking and without adding a timer, just for now, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I just need to have a variable somewhere that tells us, are we at the beginning of a match or are we in the middle of a match? And I'm not entirely sure how to represent that. Because the game, like the idea of the game is always just a single round. Maybe just a Boolean, but what do I name this Boolean? Oh, I could use the rules configured. I could say if the rules are set, then we are in the middle of a match. And then I clear the rules at the end of the match. So when the match is done, I would say rules configured clear. And then up here, when we're deciding what the ready screen takes us to, which, where the heck was that? That was player ready. So now we have a branch that says if rules configured, I think it's empty. Yeah, empty. This is a terribly named method because every time I see it, I'm like, is that going to empty my dictionary or is that checking if it is empty? So if the rules are empty, then we do that. Otherwise, we jump straight to, I believe, start game. Let me just go look at this other bit of code and verify that that's what we want to do. Yeah, because the end result of the ready screen is eventually the host starting the game. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right because before we added this junk here, the line was start game, right? Like, let's go look at the git diff and make sure that that is true. Which I'm sure you guys can't read this. Let me make my font bigger. Huge. Oh, chat. Hey, yeah. Okay, so, yep, okay. We removed start game from this method and filled in this stuff, so having start game happen here looks perfect. Let's try this. Let's see if this works. Okay, so we're starting a match. We'll just do some matchmaking. Matchmaking, ready, ready. We'll do this to 2. All right, come on. 2, start match. Let blue go over and kill green. And have him do it again. Oh, no, that actually already worked. That was it. I wasn't paying attention. I'll watch the 20 seconds ago that I see from YouTube from the stream. Yeah, it just went straight to the ready screen and didn't ask us to configure the rules again. So let's make sure that we do get asked to configure the rules again when we come back out of this. So DSnowPick wins the whole match, and it boots us out, which is another thing I want to change. I don't want us to boot us out. I want it to then take us back to configuring the rules again, but that is another problem, a different issue. And we come here, and it asks us to configure the rules. And this guy's the host now. Cool. Perfect. That's working. That is totally committable. Let's commit that. Oh, didn't mean to type Q into the terminal. We'll look at the diff really quick just to make sure I'm not committing anything I don't want to commit. This all seems good. Let's add all the things. Okay. Start of having configurable match rules. Thanks for the enthusiasm, Elliot. Okay, so I think do we want to try to do the time limit thing? Yeah, I think we have time. I think we can do it. So this will be a whole new bit of gameplay that we didn't have before. We'll need to put a timer somewhere. So I guess that goes in our overlay here. I thought this was its own scene. Is it not its own scene anymore? I must have changed that at some point. Oh, we could abuse the message field. I don't think that's a good idea. We'll just add a new label that represents a countdown. And I don't want it to conflict with the message, like if they're both showing at once. I'll just show that for now while I figure out where to put this. Yeah, new features are way more fun than just like untangling my tangled UI. Let's just put this at the top. I don't want to think about it too hard. Center top. It's gonna be like a countdown thing. Oh, why isn't it inheriting the theme here? Let me assign the theme to its parent control. There we go. This will be countdown label. Oh, just countdown. Countdown's good. And I'll put that at the top because it is visually at the top so I don't confuse myself later. Let's relay this out because we're laying it out with anchors so the change in width affects that. We'll hide it. So we need to start at the beginning, start at the UI. We set what we want the time to be. So that will be on the rules screen. Add some new controls here. This will be time limit label. Time limit. And we'll add a, I guess it's just a line edit that will parse special. And by default, do we want a time limit? We haven't had a time limit up until now. I don't really want to have to build a thing where you like have a checkbox to hides and shows it because I just want to get this done real quick. So let's just start with the default time limit. We'll say it's short 5-minute matches. We'll put this centered to match the other one. And we'll name this time limit. go over to our rule script. We'll assign the node from the tree to a variable, time limit field. I think that's the label. That's the field. Nope, that's the label. And we are going to need to do a little bit of deconstruction on this, which actually, for those who were here at the beginning of the stream, I have like this little stream counter where I wrote a bunch of this code already. I'm gonna steal this from. That's a good idea, Elliot. Put an infinity symbol in there by default. That'd be really cool. And then like when you click it, it would like let you edit it. And if you delete everything and come out, then it would turn back to an infinity symbol. That would be really nice. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in my notes actually. Sorry, I write slow. Where's my stream counter? Yeep. Stream tools. And I have a script here that takes this. So the part of this that you haven't seen is that I have this little thing and then I hit start and then it does the stream countdown. So I'm just gonna like steal this code right here. Yeah, infinite by default sounds good, Ross says. I agree. We're in agreement, the three of us who clearly rule the world and make all the decisions. Okay, so yeah, we take the time, we break it up into parts, we make sure that it's valid. And yeah, I don't know that I want to do it like this though. I definitely want to turn it to seconds, but like, I don't want to make it be invalid like this. Maybe just like clear it, but then I would need to do the validation when we like click out of the box or something. Let's see. Text entered. Emitted when the user presses the enter key. Okay. Text changed, emitted when the text changes. That's probably the signal we want, I think. This text change rejected is interesting. Oh, because it would be rejected by max length. Okay, so we'll say text changed. We'll do the validation, and then we'll need to do it again when they click start match to get the actual values, I think. We should rule the world. Elliot, you are correct. All right, so yeah, let me grab this text changed. Time limit text changed. Let's move that higher up, again, because it comes earlier in the process. And this is the new text. And I want to do like, let's add a little method here. Parse time, something like that. We'll pass in a string. And we return an integer of seconds. And we will copy that code from my stream tools. And yeah, we'll get the seconds out of it. You know, we're gonna need to do this backwards on the other end. Well, I don't know. This is fine. This is fine. I can refactor later. And actually, let me name this text. I think that is easier to follow. Or no, that's not easier to follow at all. Text time split there, text parts, and we'll say if the parts does not equal 2, then we'll just like reset it to some value, which will hopefully not create an infinite loop. I guess we'll find out. Time limit field text equals. Actually, yeah, is that going to create an infinite loop? We'll just default it back to 5 if someone enters like a weird value. And we need to verify that this makes like a valid number of seconds too, right? So we have to do the seconds parsing. Oh, this isn't even the right place. This is my... Okay, so here, all we care about is if it's not 2 parts, we're just going to say like return 0. And this part, we're going to return the number of seconds that we've parsed from here, which I think we can get... I don't know, we still need that. Do we? Hang on. Yes, we still need that. And we'll say our seconds equals parse time new text, and if seconds is less than or equal to 0, we will do time limit field text equals our default, which is 5 minutes. And time to find out if this makes an infinite loop. So let's change it to something crazy. 99. Oh, it does not make an infinite loop, and it is very annoying. So if I type 9, it immediately like recognizes it as invalid. Okay, so that makes us... That actually isn't the worst, is it? So then I have to go like this to set it, or you know. Why doesn't that? Oh, because it's 2 parts, even if it's not like valid parts. That's so weird. I might need to spend more time on the validation for this. This is good enough for now, though. I think to do this, I'll make a note that time limit validation needs a bunch of work. What's going on in chat? That could probably be a rotating box too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, infinite. Yeah, that is true, actually. It could just be number of minutes. Yeah. The number, yeah, that is weird that they're different sizes. Like, it's because that texture is tacked onto the end, but it looks weird. Like, this should like go not quite as far. No, you're right. I think you're right. I think we should make that be a spinner that just counts minutes. Let's trash this code. This code that we lovingly wrote together. It's going away. Let's detach this. Actually, I don't think we even need to do that because we're deleting the thing. Delete. Let's make this be a spin box. We're going to call time limit. And let's see how we can configure this. We want a suffix of that. I want to align to the right. That doesn't do exactly what I want. Why not? How does that work in practice? Like, so it still lets me edit this junk, but it doesn't mean anything. All right, I'm just gonna write the word minutes. Zero minutes. So min value of 1, max value of 10. Step page, we're gonna always round. Needs to be an integer. Oh, do I have to do one of these? No. We'll go different, even more abbreviated. So time limit 1 minute. We'll set the default, I think, to 5, like we were just talking about. 5s are good defaults. And back to our script here. Now with 100% less validation. All right, so time limit. Time limit field value. Done. Okay. So now that we have the value, we need to do something with it. So we need to display this time limit. So start game is when we want to start counting down. How did I do the countdown in this one? Like, did I record just the end time and then go from the current time to the end time? Start time, end time? Yeah, okay, so I just took the current time plus the number of seconds and we counted down towards that. So we can do a similar thing here. We can say time limit end, and that's, yeah, Elliot's asking, so is it a different UI element to have 1, 2, 3, 4 infinity? Yeah, we might need to be clever to do that because it is sort of different. Like this, we can't let the spin box just handle everything because it will not let us put an infinity symbol in there. I don't know. We'll come up with something. We'll come up with something. Yeah, if a single round lasts more than 5 minutes, like something weird is going on. Okay, so time limit end, we need to set that once the rules come in. So the rules come in here. Or maybe start game should do it. We need to say like, so time limit end would be OS get time, no. Something seconds, something with seconds. Oh my god. System get time secs. Plus, we're gonna say rules configured get, we call that time limit. This is why we need an object, so I'm not guessing at array keys, but it will default to 5 times 60. It's 300, I can just type that. Time limit, yep. I'm not making any bajillions of anything from this game. I'm having a good time. I'm making a lot of tutorials. You ain't getting no car, Elliot. Time limit end. That seems fine. And then we need a process callback. We don't really need a process callback. We need a timer. Did I do it with a timer here? I did, yeah. That's more efficient-ish. Wrong button. Timer. And okay, so the timer will go 1 second. It's not one shot, it's not auto start. Timeout. Signal. Where will we place this? I guess this is a decent spot because it's in the game logic. It happens before game over because the game is still running when this timer is going. So we will use this to update the time left. Let's grab our timer, our countdown label. Countdown label. All right, so we start the game, we set the timeout end, which, yeah, we want to do here. We don't want to do it after the game is started, I don't think. Oh, and we have to think about the time limit needs to only be like calculated on the host. Which is fine. We just have to be careful where we're calling all of these methods. Okay, so we start the game. We set that. We set the countdown. Or no. We need to grab that timer too. Ready for timer. We will start the timer, and we will straight away call its event handler one time to initialize its value. And here's where I will steal some more code from my stream timer. Yeah, I'll just take all this math. When real gamers play, it's a matter of seconds before I'm off the board. Yep. Yeah. All right, time limit end, total seconds, blah, blah, blah. Let's steal this other bit of code. Oh, I called it even countdown label? It's like the same variable name. Okay. So this should start a timer that counts down and doesn't do anything but count. So let's see that works. Start a match. Oops, wrong last thing. I mixed all my terminals up. This is supposed to be my Git terminal, and this is supposed to be my playtesting terminal. All right. Start a match. Match rules. Start. Okay, nothing happened. I think we need to show the countdown timer. We forgot one thing. Start game. On timer timeout. So that should set the value, and then countdown label visible true. Okay. Next time I will not quit the game. I will, or no, I would still need to have quit the game here, I think. No, I think I could have used the live reload here. I would just had to have exited the match. We'll try it. We'll try it next time. I do like me the live reload. Okay. Start match. And that's not right. Okay. Let's see what's going on there. That would probably be a problem in the timer, or the timer timeout. Plus equals. Why am I doing plus equals? Oh, because it's doing this negative thing. I don't need to. There's no negative time in a tank battle. Time goes in one direction and then stops. Okay, so this should just be this, and the live reload should get that. There we go. Live reload even got it, but it's counting up. Okay, let's look at this math. So the time limit end should be greater than the current time. Let's just verify that I set that right. So we get the current time plus the time limit. So that's right. We start this timer, do it once, we show it. Timer here. We get the total seconds by taking the end minus the current time. We don't do this, need to do this negative tracking stuff. That's not a thing. Yeah, we just need to say, okay, if total seconds is less than 0 or less than or equal to 0, for now, what we should do here is, you know, of course, end the match, but for now, let's just stop the timer. Timer stop. And then total seconds gets an absolute value, which we don't need because we know that it's not negative. Minutes are the seconds divided by 60. Seconds are the seconds modulo 60. We've had some zeros. Seems fine. All right. Well, let's start this over. Oh, it's doing 5 seconds instead of 5. Oh, okay, okay. I see what's happening here. I see what's happening here. We did not convert the in the UI from the integer value to actual minutes. So time limit value needs to be times 60. And that should be good. Again, I shouldn't have quit. I should have just done the live reload, but I always forget to do that. Been doing too much WebXR where I have to like re-export every time I make a change. I've stopped relying on the live reload. There we go. The timer is counting down. It's not on the client though, only on the host. How much time do we have? Wow. I don't know if we're going to be able to make this actually do anything before the end of the stream, guys. What's going on in chat? Whoa, I missed a whole lot of stuff. Or like Fortnite, the map gets smaller. Ooh, that's a fun mod. Yeah. Tanks just get weaker. Dynamic map seems hard. Yeah. Hard to implement and hard to play. Yeah. No, this is yeah. I'm gonna do my best to try and get through all of these dumb little things this next week, and then maybe starting like next week we can look at mod support, because that'd be so great. And Elliot's asking like, we'll need a place to upload all these mods. Like the place should be the Steam Workshop, but then I'll have to also figure out Steam Workshop integration. And I don't know if I need to make that much work for myself, but God, I would love that. I would love to have mods, and then we can make mods together and play them together on stream, and that'd be so cool. So let's see what next here. We got to get this time updating on the client too, not just the host. So to do that, let's go look at the code here. I think we can make a method whose job it is to update the timer and just RPC to that, which will mean that the time won't technically always be 1 second, like it could miss time. Do we care about that? Will people worry that sometimes the timer hitches and lags? I'm going to say we don't care, at least for now. We can implement it the easy but not quite perfect way now, and then later, if we need to, we can like sync clocks or something. But yeah, if we implement it with a laggy timer and nobody cares, then yeah, that's fine. So let's do it. So we will need to make sure that the timer is visible on everybody's client. So I guess that needs to go in like the setup process. And we also need to make sure it's invisible after we're done. Okay, so most of the setup process happens in game and not in main, but main is involved. It gets like notified when the game actually starts. Yeah, game started. So when game started happens, assuming that happens on all clients, which I don't know that it does. Game started goes to here. On game started. All right. That has to happen on all clients. That seems like a very generic bunch of things to do. Say timer, or no, countdown label visible equals true. And then how do we end? Player dead, game over, I guess game over. And on game over, we want to hide this, hide the countdown timer. And we want to stop the timer if it hasn't stopped already. Although, yeah, the timer is only going to be running on the host, but we don't care. We can tell it to stop in multiple places. So we will show it everywhere. That means we can get rid of the show that we were doing that was just happening on the host. We'll still start the timer on the host. We'll still trigger this one right away. Although I think we might want to trigger a different method because we need one that happens for multiple situations. So this one only happens when the host's timer times out. And what we really want to do is have this happen everywhere. So we need a remote sync function, which means when we RPC to this method, it'll happen on both the host and everywhere else. Update countdown timer, and we want to pass in the number of seconds. So this would be the total, or we'll say seconds remaining. That's actually a much better name. Seconds remaining. Integer. Oops. And we'll calculate this amount up here. We want to call it always because we want to call it when it's 02. So we'll say RPC update countdown timer. Pass in the total seconds, which I'm totally going to rename to remaining seconds because that's a way better name. And why are you yelling at me? Identifier total. Oh, because I renamed or seconds remaining. Geez, remaining seconds. Seconds remaining. Seconds remaining is better. And name this here. Jesus. Seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Okay. Why are you still complaining at me? Oh, because I didn't rename this one. Seconds remaining. Stop complaining? All right, it's not complaining. Let's see if we got it. Okay, so this one's the host this time. And hey, synchronized clocks. We got a clock going in both clients. Beautiful. And hopefully no one will notice that the clock second isn't going to always be exactly a second. Of course it will be here because I'm doing this locally on my machine, and with WebRTC peer-to-peer means they're like just talking to each other within the same like local host network. It's not even going to the internet. Yeah, cool. Now we got to make that do something. Oh, what's going on in chat? Oh yeah, so Elliot's asking what do I mean about the 1 second increments. Yeah, they so on the clients it won't be exactly 1 second when it updates because there's always like going to be some amount of lag, and if there ends up being a big enough amount of lag, you might get like a whole bunch of seconds as like the messages come in after you know, being delayed. But like again, we just need to get this out. We need to get this thing finished. And if players complain about that, if that ends up being reported as a thing, like we can fix it. It's not that hard to fix, but like I want to get to modding. I want to get to that modding. All right, so we need to make something happen when the time runs out. I'm thinking kill everybody. But then who wins? Okay, no, hang on. So we do want to kill everybody and end the match, not the round, end the whole match. Ooh. Okay, so some bigger changes need to happen here. So we don't just want each individual round. Or no, like, oh man, how to combine these things? Okay, so the way we have it set up right now is the timer starts at the beginning of every round, and then it gets to the end of the round, and then what happens? Like, the time limit makes the most sense if we drop the idea of rounds and then just say, or I guess we do have a score because we have who won the previous bunch of rounds. So I would like a mode where you're trying to rack up number of kills, and we don't care, like, if you get up to 5 wins, like, you're done. And that actually makes me think that we've labeled this wrong, because it isn't number of rounds, actually. It's number of wins to win. Like, and what's a good label for that? Like, I don't know, but that's what it is. It's not number of rounds, actually. It's kills to win match. Any good ideas, chat, for what to call the field for how many wins you need to have to win the whole match? I guess it's like best out of blank. Or no, it isn't. It isn't that, because you just keep playing rounds. You don't just limit yourself to 5 rounds. You just keep playing until someone gets 5 wins. Wins per match? It's better than number of rounds, at least. Wins per match? How are we doing on time, guys? Ooh, 3 minutes. Okay. Let's blow everybody up when the time limit runs out, and just call it a stream. And I can finish rationalizing this, making it make sense off stream. So when the timer runs out, we stop the timer, and we kill everybody. So how do we do that? I think game lets us kill people. Kill player. Haha, kill player. So we would need to loop over the remaining living players, which we also have on game. Maybe game needs a method to kill everybody. So func kill all players, which where's the players? Because this does have a players alive array, doesn't it? I swear that it did. Players alive. Okay, so we loop over players alive, and wait, what the heck is players alive? Is it an array, or is it a? It's a dictionary. Okay, so hopefully it's keyed on the player ID. I'm just going to make that assumption. So for player ID in players alive, kill player ID. Done. We can kill everybody now. And game kill all players. And that should result in well, wait, someone will always be killed last and will get that win. That's like totally unfair, because it's going to say whoever's killed last gets the win. Maybe we can't kill everybody. Maybe we just have to stop the match. How do we do that? How do we stop the match? We trigger game over. Oh, this is a mess. This is a total mess. Because game is telling us who the last player alive is, but game doesn't know what the score is. So, oh my god, this is a tangled mess. I gotta work on this. I gotta work on this off stream. All right, what can we commit? What can we make that we can commit? We'll just kill all players. It's unfair. Someone will randomly be chosen as the winner of that round, and I don't care. I don't care. That's how it's gonna happen. Let's just make sure that this works, and we can commit it to Git. Maybe we could do one quick playtesting session. See how horribly broken it is, and then end the stream. Or I shouldn't have done 5 minutes. Yeah. Let's reduce this to 1 minute. Come on. Where's the what? Oh my god. Okay, so there's another bug. When I back out of a match, it doesn't clear the configured rules. Back button. Okay. So stop game gets called. Stop game. Stop game needs to clear the configured rules. Rules, configured, clear. We do that somewhere else, which is clearly not the right place. Yeah, we're doing it here, but this calls stop game, so that is the right place. All right. Match, ready. Make this be 1 minute. 1. Start match. Okay, so 1 minute's going on. I'll go do some killing, make sure the clock doesn't restart when it's not supposed to. Oh, it totally is going to restart when it's not supposed to, because game stop happens all the time. Ah! Okay. Okay, so rules configured can't happen here. It's got to go back to where it was, and it's got to be put into the back button. Okay, so is match. Clear the rules. And the back button here. Bam. Okay. Does that fix the bug? Oops, 14. 1. Okay, it's 1 minute. I guess let me just test the bug. That stops the timer. It doesn't hide it, unfortunately. That should happen. Another bug. Man, you know what? What time is it? 12:02? All right. I'm going to commit this. It's broken. There are problems. I'm going to commit it. I'm going to let it build. We're going to do a playtest. It's going to be broken. That's going to be funny. And we'll call it a stream. Okay. Commit everything. Just do it. Broken. Time limit. Implementation. All right. Let me open up GitLab here. We can watch it build really quick so that we will know when we can jump into a quick final playtest with whoever's interested. The link at the bottom, the bit.ly link to RTP-devel, will take you to the web version of the game. Don't open it yet, though, because the latest version has not finished building. We'll go see how it builds here. All right. So, it is presently building on Linux, macOS, web, and Windows. We only really care about web because we're going to be playing the web version. And I will get myself, or no, because I'm going to play it on here. I'm going to play it on stream. Of course I'm going to play it on stream. Play it on the screen. Be ready for when that is done. Okay. Whatever. Well, thanks everyone for hanging out for the stream. This was super fun again. Oh, let me see what I missed in chat here. Elliot says I need to make him the automatic winner. Randomly blow up each tank, random winner. Yeah, it's sort of random. I mean, I guess it'll be in the order that they were added to that dictionary. Or no, they wouldn't be because it's a hash, so it is kind of random. I don't know. Rounds and wins. Possible to have a mode where when your tank is destroyed, you sit out for 15 seconds, then respawn. Yeah, so I think a really cool mode would be where we set a time limit, and it works just like that, where you just try to get as many kills as you can, and then whoever gets the most kills at the end, you know, is the winner. Or even we don't even have to have it where it's the most kills. It could still be like first to 3 or first to 5, which Ross is a great way to describe that. I'm not entirely sure how to make that into a label, like first to number of wins. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, blow everyone up lemming style. All right, so this is built. Anyone who is interested in playing, jump over to the link here. I will post the match ID into chat in a moment. Oop, yeah, we can see the new version's already got our little medals that we added here. There's the match ID. I'll drop it into Discord as well if anyone's following along in Discord. And yeah, jump in whoever can. We'll do one quick round and call it a stream. Be very anticlimactic if no one could join. But that happens, that's life. Ooh, hey, Elliot's in. Oh, Elliot has left. Well, Elliot was in. Let me know if that was the game kicking you or if it was, I don't know, something you think that's on your end. I know you were having that issue with the web version, and I know you know how to download the builds for the macOS one if you want to grab that, depending on how much time you have. I don't know. Don't want to keep anybody. All right, I'm gonna give it one more minute, and then I for real gotta go because I gotta eat some lunch, and before I gotta go to this doctor appointment I gotta go to. Chrome problem, browser problems. Yeah, all right. Let's call it a stream. Thanks everyone for coming. This was super fun. I think I'm gonna try and do this again next week. So if you want to come and follow along. Also, me and Elliot have been doing daily playtests in the morning. If you're interested in joining those, go join the Discord and ping me there. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Catch you later. Ooh, wait, Salary Cat, hold the presses. And thanks a lot. Oh my god. Okay. No, I'm definitely curious about what's going to happen with Salary Cat because there was an issue last time, a network issue, which I hope is fixed by the turn server. Ooh, Ross is having an issue with paste? Are you on Mac OS, Ross? Because there is an issue with Godot and pasting on Mac OS. Ooh, I need those tracer bullets. I need them. No one else is getting them. Oh, geez, you have some tracers too? I gotta get out of here. Need to get some more health. Oh, I'm taking this spread. Look out, I got the spread. Haha. Or I had the spread. I must have picked up a tracer somewhere along the way. Or no, I still have spread. What's going on here? Oh! Ross was in briefly. That's interesting. Shouldn't be possible to join halfway through a match. I'll have to make a note about that. Winner! Oh, Windows 10. Interesting. So, Salary Cat, are you on the same like network that you were last time? When you had that trouble where you weren't able to connect? Yeah, sweet. So it's working for you now. It was awesome that you got in there. Hopefully that was due to setting up the turn server that I set up this week, which will hopefully also fix the issue for the Steam reviewer that I was talking about earlier on in the stream. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the copy and paste for you, Ross. I'm gonna be at the game dev chat thing tomorrow, I think, unless something weird happens. So maybe we can debug that then. All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming to the stream. That was really great, and for real this time. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.